Welcome again. We have yet another person to interview. His name is Jeff. Let's see what he has to say. Hello, Jeff. Welcome.
Well, thank you. It's good to be here, Edwina.
Tell me, what did you major in college?
The college I went to had one possible major, which was human ecology.
Really?
Yes,
Just one?
Just one.
What is human ecology?
Human ecology is the study of humans and their environment and the way in which they interact.
I see.
In all the various ways which we interact with our environment.
Very interesting.
So we're talking about the way we interact with our physical environment as far as things like housing or art. We're talking about the way we interact with our environment in a more scientific way, biologically speaking, physically speaking, and we're talking about the ways in which we socially interact with our environment and artistically interact.
That sounds very comprehensive.
I would say it's pretty comprehensive.
So what are you doing with your major in your life right now, and how's it helped you?
I think it's helped to give me sort of a broad-based way of looking at things. I was exposed during my college years to people from various nationalities, which I didn't have much when I was in high school. It gave me a way of understanding how complex the world is, that there really aren't simple solutions to most of the world's problems. It helped me understand the world from a more scientific standpoint, since I concentrated mostly on the sciences, primarily biology. And so how am I using it now? I have gone into librarianship, and so being a librarian, it helps to know a little bit about a lot of different things. You don't necessarily have to be an expert in any one area, but it helps to be familiar with a lot of different things, whether you're talking about sciences, social sciences, arts and humanities. It's good to be exposed to all of those, and I was exposed to all of those in college, because even though I was primarily on a science track, I took classes in the social sciences and arts and humanities, and feel like I got a fairly good overview of what the world is like.
You sound well-rounded.
Thank you. I like to think of myself as well-rounded, but I'm sure I could be more well-rounded.
Ah, yes. Who among us couldn't?
Right.
So when you were in school, what did you want to do with your major?
Well, I was hoping once I graduated I could somehow get involved in the world of cetacean studies, studying whales, dolphins, and porpoises in the wild, and interacting with them on a regular basis. What I found was that there were very few paid positions in that area, and that if I really wanted to pursue that, it would probably require getting both a master's and a PhD. And I frankly didn't have the patience to stay in school and study all of the related subject areas that probably would have been required for a career in that area. So things don't always happen the way you hope they will, but in the end I think they work out.
What would you still like to do with your major that maybe you haven't yet?
Well, I think I'd like to be more involved in studying and conserving wildlife. I would like to have a more balanced life from a professional standpoint, working for organizations that I feel strongly about as far as their overall goals, which is not to say that working for the Department of Defense I don't agree with their overall goals, but I think there are organizations out there that would probably fit my interests better.
Quite so.
And I think in librarianship it's hard to feel like you're making a direct impact on the world, and most days I think I think could probably be a little more hands-on or more of an activist in a certain way. Might be more rewarding.
Tell me this. Are you glad you have the background that you do, and do you wish that you had chosen something else?
I'm very glad that I have the backgrounds that I have academically. I feel like the years I spent in college were probably in many ways the best years of my life. I was able to spend a quarter at the Smithsonian as part of my college experience. I spent another quarter doing an internship on a whale watch boat. So I got to see a little bit of the world and experience things that most people don't get to do.
What do you feel is the value of a liberal arts major, especially in the 21st century?
Well, I think too often young people, they have a certain track in mind for their life, or their parents push them along a certain pathway, and they don't necessarily get to experience the variety of what's out there academically or in the real world, so to speak. And I think by having a liberal arts background, I got to experience a lot of different things, a lot of different learning experiences that many people don't experience because they're too focused. They're focused on getting a degree that will give them a high-paying job, or they're focused on a certain profession that they're interested in. And I'm one of those people that really still doesn't know what I want to do when I grow up, even though I'm 51 years old.
Congratulations. I know that feeling.
Yes. Yes, it's one of those feelings that's both good and bad at various times. And I could see that there's probably a certain comfort in knowing what you want to do with your life. But I guess I think of it more as the importance is not the destination, but the road traveled, or however you want to word that.
Right.
I'm enjoying the road for the most part.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about your major, or liberal arts major, or I can't keep saying liberal arts, liberal arts major, or education in general?
Well, I think it's just important for people to be open-minded, to try to experience learning in an open way, not to be too set in your ways of thinking, to try to go to a college or university, if that's the route you want to take, where you're going to have a high faculty-to-student ratio, where you're going to have that personal interaction with the faculty, both in and out of the classroom, and get to know them and the community in which you're living, as well as the greater world that's out there, because there's a lot that we don't experience, most of us, in our upbringing. And I think getting a liberal arts education and living in a community and experiencing a greater college community outside of your home environment in which you grew up is very important. Just expose yourself to a lot of different experiences and people, and I think people will benefit from that.
Well, very interesting. Thank you so much for sharing your insights and your history with us.
It's been a pleasure. I appreciate the fact that you wanted to hear from me.
Well then, bon voyage!
See you soon.